Ooh. Insert angelic chorus sound effect and dramatic lens flare here. No, seriously, do that in your own head because I don't have either the budget or the wherewithal or the editing skills to do so on my own. So, just imagine it. It's beautiful, isn't it? Hey there, folks. I am the Mighty Plantain. Thanks for checking out this video. We are going to grab something out of Bill's beer fridge in a second here. I know it's taken me a while. It's been over a year to get through some of these. There was a large variety in there. I cleared out a lot of the stuff that was duplicates. And, I mean, you can see it. I'm not exactly a social butterfly. It took me over a year to actually get Boosh in on one of these videos. There's a couple of other folks that I'd like to bring in, like Fingers and some other folks. Just timing and availability just haven't added up. And, with the whole COVID mess, getting together with people's been harder. Yes, even two and a half, almost 3 years later, it's still been difficult to make social things happen. So anyway, I've still got a handful of beers on the top shelf that I want to review with some folks who knew Bill, and maybe not. We'll see how that shakes out. I mean, if I finish up the other stuff first, I'm going to dip into those. On the second shelf is a bunch of stuff there's onesies, twosies that I'm just going to go ahead and do by myself. And then on the third, fourth shelf and everything in the door, I've actually replaced with newer stuff that's gone in there because it's actually freed up a considerable amount of space in my regular fridge. Anyway, that's probably not important to most of you, but I just felt like giving you the rundown today. So we're just going to randomly reach over and grab something off the second shelf and see what we got going on here. I'm hoping I'm getting on the second shelf. Yes, here's the top of the fridge, and then I'm going to go first shelf, second shelf. Just reach in there, and what have I got? Oh! Foundation Brewing. I think I've done a couple from them. This is raspberries, my jam. I'm pretty sure that we did lime as my jam. Maybe something else from them. It's a tart fruit ale. Bill was big on the sours, so there's a bunch of them in there. So anyway, I'm pretty sure we have not done raspberries my jam yet. Grist bonus. Oh, grist is the list. Yeah, haha. See, they've got it across the label. They've got the grist, and then see the label split there, and then bonus, and then ABV. So there's a 5% ABV made with 2-row wheat. It's got raspberry and lactose in there. This is a living product. Some sediment may occur. Okay. Raspberries My Jam is a kettle soured ale brewed with lactose and fermented with raspberry. Take your taste buds on an adventure with this bright and jammy beer. Foundation's got some really solid sours. Maine farms provide part of the grist used in this product. Awesome. So, where some sedimentation may occur, I'm going to try and do this separately from talking because it can get loud on the table that close to the camera, but gently rolling the can will get that sediment up and into the beer. You can do this with hobby beers that have some sedimentation issues. You can do this with beers that have a live fermentation or a bottle or can conditioned. So you can get that sediment, whether it be a particulate-based sediment from fruit, hops, or a fermentation sediment from live yeast being in there. You can just kind of gently distribute it into the can or bottle so it's suspended in the brew when you pour it out. And this gentle rolling action is far less likely to agitate the beer to the point where it explodes on you while still distributing that sediment evenly throughout the beer. So, I'm also going to hit this, tap the top of the can. Sometimes people question why I tap the top of every can or bottle I open. because that action, and don't ask me to explain the science behind it, it provides a quick nucleation point by cavitating the liquid within there. Just that simple act can create a cavitation effect, which causes a couple of bubbles to form, and other bubbles can nucleate on top of those bubbles, and it dissipates some of the explosiveness that can happen from the carbonation in the beverage. Anyway, probably talking out my ass halfway there, but either way, you can see that the beer didn't explode. I got a nice decent head on it, and I didn't get a big clump of sludge at the bottom of the pour from the fermentation or whatever solid. Ooh, I spoke too soon. There was a chunk floating down there, but whatever. We'll just be careful when we get to the bottom of this glass. But it is a nice pinkish red raspberry looking beer, quite hazy, slightly flocculent. There's a couple of flecks in there besides that one big chunk that settled to the bottom. Pardon. Oh, I see another chunk here. Okay, so their warning about particulates is duly noted, because even with the rolling of the can, I still managed to find some in there. All right, but it's a good looking beer, slightly effervescent. There's a few bubbles coming up there. Now I'm focusing on all the chunks that are settling to the bottom. Whatever. It smells of raspberries. Very strong raspberry smell. Look at that tart and slightly bitter, yet somehow sweet raspberry aroma, like freshly picked raspberries, honestly. Freshly picked raspberries after a nice summer rain. Seriously, wet raspberries smell different than dry raspberries. It smells like wet raspberries. Tart up front, sweet in the middle, slightly sour and bitter in the finish. That's liquid raspberry, folks. My great uncle used to have raspberry vines all over his property, and as kids we'd go and pluck a few pints and try to sell them. Seriously, sell them door to door. Hello, sir. Would you be interested in purchasing a pint of freshly picked raspberries for $3, $3 or $4? Can't remember. Anyway, this tastes like fucking raspberries picked right off the vine. And even though 5% ABV isn't that much, you'd still never know that there is any alcohol in this. This is freshly picked raspberries, top to bottom. Ooh. Might be some nostalgia, might be some... Oh! Now, I don't know how to describe this, but raspberry jam, or any type of fruit jam, has a certain type of sweetness to it. And maybe it's the fruit pectins, maybe it's the slight bit of waxiness, but there's a certain aftertaste that you get from a jam versus a jelly. And I'm getting that after a few sips of this beer. It tastes like freshly picked raspberries right off the vine after a nice summer rain, and then rolling off the back of the palate in the finish, there is that distinct jam. Not necessarily a flavor, because it's not specific to any particular fruit jam, but just jam itself has this weird sweet flavor in the finish. And again, it was a little waxy, a little pectin-y, if that's even a word, but it's there in this. So, yeah, I think I'm hitting this particular one with a 5 out of 5, folks. And again, it's not anything specifically related to a particular flavor in there. It's everything that it claims to be, but the nostalgia and the comfort from childhood memories combined with just delicious jam. Come on, make yourself a peanut butter and jam sandwich. Grape jam, strawberry jam, raspberry jam, just make yourself a goddamn sandwich and you'll know what I'm talking about when you lick that knife after spreading the jam on your bread. And then, anyway.
Make it with Lemuse.
Yes, Lemuse Orchards if you're in central Maine. Hit them up for jams, jellies, pickles, preserves, apples, pumpkins. Stop by, pick up all your local...
Donuts!
Their donuts are amazing.
On the weekends.
Anyway. Thank you, Peanut Gallery, for your 2 cents worth.
You're welcome.
Anyway, this particular beer is honestly just hitting all the right notes tonight, and it is a 5 out of 5. But that's what I've got to say about it. Hit me up down below in the comments or the email link. Let me know what you have to say about the beer. Whether you agree or disagree, still want to hear from you. While you're down there, don't forget to like and share the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, folks, thanks for tuning in. Cheers. I'm going to go watch the last half of the BattleBots Golden Bolt final.
Yes.
Yeah. We're all kind of excited about that in this house.